Reverse racism is a hot topic right now. Reverse racism, for those who don't know, is basically discrimination and hatred towards white folk. There is no bigger group out there on YouTube or social media that is talking about this more than the straight white male, okay? They say they're being discriminated against by not only their own women, but especially the minority, meaning us and other people that are not white, okay? So their complaint is that they don't like this diversity that's going on. They talk about being woke. Woke is going broke because when you push them to the side and put minorities and people of other groups in the forefront and they take a back seat, suddenly that's racist. Now, I'll say this. I say so-called diversity when it comes to television shows and media, stuff like that, movies and advertisements, because I don't see interracial relationships representing me as a black man, because I don't mess with white women like that. I don't believe in interracial relationships, and that's my right, just like it's their right to believe what they want to believe as well. It's not me being hateful. But when you're calling somebody the N-word, when you're calling somebody out of their name, when you're blatantly being disrespectful to them because of the color of their skin or their religion or their culture, then yes, that's racism. Of course it is. Nobody's being disrespectful to you. All we're saying towards you is the fact that you're complaining and whining that you're not in the lead anymore. Because you've been so used to getting away with things that you've gotten away with before, you're not used to a time where you haven't gotten away with anything. You don't like the fact that the status quo is changing and it's not changing in your favor. You don't like the fact that your women are not giving birth like they used to before either. You don't like the fact that your people are, dying of opioids. You always want to joke around and say how black people smoke crack and crack is in the black community, but who brought it into the black community to begin with, So it's funny when these so-called people who are in the so-called dominant society want to complain about reverse discrimination, reverse racism, but there is no reverse discrimination, reverse racism. We don't have the power to stop you from, making money. You do that, okay? You want to talk about court and taking you to court and losing you did that to yourself if you got caught on camera saying something. And majority of the time, there are people that still get off when they do something wrong. So what the hell are you talking about? To be honest with you, I'm going to tell you just like this, I'm going to tell you just like it is. These people say woke is bad because woke does not include them as the main character in the story. Woke makes them the bad guy, or woke pushes them to the side for someone else and they don't like it. End of story. I've heard it before and I hear it time and time again. Woke does not mean the same thing it means to them, because when black people are talking about being woke, we're not talking about goddamn television shows and movies and shit like that. We're actually talking about waking up from this slumber of believing that racism doesn't exist and that you people actually give a fuck about us. I'm not an SJW, but some people say that I am. I'm not. All I'm doing is simply calling out the bullshit as I see it. Because I'm not like one of these black guys out there that's not going to call out racism or call out bullshit or hypocrisy when I see it. Whether it comes from my community or whether it comes from the so-called majority of this country, okay? There is no reverse discrimination. I don't have the power to hire you. I don't have the power to keep you down. I don't have the power to discriminate against you, okay? I don't have that power. I don't have the power to kill you in the street, beat the shit out of you, go and rape your wife or do anything criminal and get off. I don't have that power. I don't have that privilege. You have that privilege. And this guy on this particular video, not going to give him any play, not going to say his name. He said that in 2020, privilege is not based on the color of anybody's skin. Are you fucking kidding me? You got people that's in Washington right now that are making decisions about the country, and most of those people are the same color as him. Most of those people are fucking up their own people's lives as well as our lives. With the stimulus, with the way they're running this country. I'm not getting into political shit, but you know what I mean. They can't even run a country properly. But those are the people that are in power. It ain't many people in my community that's in a high chair, that's in a top hot seat, that can do anything for this country because they have any type of power. Most of the people that are in power look just like him, have his same skin tone, okay? Reverse racism is a bullshit lie. It's not a lie to them as far as they're concerned, because they feel that, okay, well, if we're white and we can't say bad things about black people, then black people and people of the other minorities in different, ethnicities should not be saying anything bad about us. The difference about that is when we tell you about yourself, we're telling you the fucking truth that you don't want to understand, comprehend, or accept. They don't want to accept that slavery existed. These are the same people that tell you that slavery is a lie. Slavery is fake news. These are the same people that came to me when Dylan Roof went in the church and shot those people up and said that was fake news. Those people are alive. That's all a publicity stunt. When you tell these people about racism, when you tell these people about anything that has to do with black people's oppression, I'm not saying that we're all innocent, but I'm talking about the innocent black people out there that only live their lives and do what they have to do to support themselves, their families, and live a life crime-free. Okay? It's possible. I know some people think, oh, black people are criminals. Already stereotyping. Okay? When we tell you that, you don't want to believe it. Oh, we're smoking crack. Oh, that black guy's a criminal. Even if that guy went to school and he got his diploma, he got his degree, he's a criminal. They already stereotype us before they even get to know us. And then they want to turn around and say that we're doing the same thing to them. We still have evidence from the past, from records and books, from history, and even video up to now and still going into the future that shows that you people are racist. The majority of you are racist. And he talks about how YouTube won't take down videos that talk about people in a certain way, especially his people. Bullshit. YouTube have taken down videos talking about white supremacy. A lot of these people don't even believe that white supremacy exists. They believe that white supremacy is a figment of black people's imagination. They think that black people are doing great these days. Okay? They feel that black people are not being discriminated against. They got more rights than they got. Bullshit. Black people still getting the book thrown at them if they do something wrong. Black people are still being imprisoned wrongly. I'm not seeing a lot of you guys, the color of your skin, being put into jail and spending years in jail for a crime that you didn't commit. I'm sure it's happened to you, but it hasn't happened to you on the scale that it has happened to my people. I'm not an SJW, so you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but I'm not an SJW. I'm calling out the bullshit as I see it. And I know that when a white male watches this video, if they come across it, they'll tell me I'm full of shit. These are the white males that got mad at me for just talking about how I would support putting up a theme of Black Lives Matter. Supporting the idea. Not the organization, but the idea. It's funny to me. I can't even support the idea of Black Lives Matter without these guys getting mad. They're going to tell me I'm supporting a terrorist organization. But the Proud Boys aren't terrorists, right? Ku Klux Klan aren't terrorists, right? Skinheads aren't terrorists, right? If you look into your history, white male, straight white male, if you look into your history, you will see nothing but chaos. You can tell me about my people taking drugs, about the women in my communities being prostitutes, about black men just making babies and leaving the responsibility with the woman. But how many of your ancestors have impregnated black women and left them fatherless? How many of your ancestors have enslaved mine and made them work on the fields? How many of your ancestors owned slaves, period? We don't want to talk about the hard truth. You just want to talk about things that affect you. Because racism, just like with the Asian people when it came to this Wuhan shit, I'm not going to talk about the virus because you can't say it on YouTube for some reason or other, but the virus is plaguing people. Just when it came to that, Asian people all of a sudden want to complain about racism. All of a sudden they know what racism is, even though they're being racist towards black people all this time. Not all of them, but there were many Asians that would be racist, especially in China. Okay? And then you'll have white people that say that racism doesn't exist, but then all of a sudden when they feel they're being discriminated against, when they feel like they're getting a little bit of a treatment that black people get, just because based on the color of their skin, they feel, all of a sudden it's a problem. It's only a problem for people who are non-black to talk about racism when they feel it affects them. It's never a problem when it affects us on a daily. So with that being said, I don't give a fuck about your reverse racism because it doesn't exist. It's a lie. You know what it is? Reverse racism is a figment of your imagination. That's what it is. Complain, whine, bitch, and moan. I don't care. I don't give a shit. That's my word. End of story.